was asked, and I'm sorry I forgot, that this was waiting to be done, but people had asked me about my time in Hare Krishna things and stuff that went on there, that I said, were some things that had gone on there that were, not right, and I left. So they were asking me what were those things. And was Prabhupada there during that time? And yes, he was. Prabhupada was still alive and there during that time. So what was it that I saw that I didn't get along with, and why I left? Well, one thing that was happening during that time, and fortunately, I never sent my daughter there. I said, my daughter's my responsibility. I'm not sending her to a gurukul. I'm taking care of her myself. Thank God I did, because found out later, there's some light on the subject, found out later that there had been some sexual abuse of children in the gurukul there. And I think this is something that happens with a lot of the spiritual things. You just never, ever, ever leave your child alone with people. Just don't do it. So that was going on. I found out about that later. I didn't know about that when I was there. That was not the reason I left, although I would have left if I would have known about it. But the reason that I left was because they would do this thing, and he would call it spiritual trickery. And that's nonsense. There's no such thing as spiritual trickery. You can't make something that's a trick on somebody to make it spiritual. I'm sorry. No, So they would go out and they would push a flower or push a book into people's hands and then want money for it. Okay? So, yeah, that didn't sit with me at all. That didn't sit with me at all. And I said, that's not right, to go out and beleaguer people for money when you shove something in their hand. Force them to take it, really. It's what they did. They forced people to take it, and then you need to give me money now. And I just went, no. No. And there, there were other things going on, like when I was there, and I was in the San Francisco temple, I was in the LA temple, and the Hawaii, the one over in Hawaii, I've been there as well. Also in India, okay, been there, but that was after he had passed. I went there just to pay my respects, because he was one of my teachers along the way. Even though I didn't agree and I left, you still honor, the things that you get there. So I did that. Another thing that happened, and this was after he passed, after Prabhupada passed, one thing he was really strict on was the food guideline. No milchi, no peppers. I don't care if it's kali mirch, black pepper, if it's, jalapeno, any kind of pepper, red pepper, no peppers. All of the food was supposed to be bland. You would use turmeric, things like that, fine. No garlic, no onions, no peppers of any sort or variety. Nothing spicy, nothing hot. And the minute he died, they started putting all the spice in the food and everything. He'd roll over in his grave if he saw that. Okay. And the other thing that I didn't agree with, now this is something that I came to know later, after I completed and went from Dvaita into Advaita, which is a whole different shift of consciousness. Something that he always said then was, Men need to be attached to something, so let them be attached to Krishna. Okay? And that always stuck with me that he had said that. People want to be attached to something, so let them be attached to Krishna. That was his thing. Well, later, he was teaching from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So he teach the Bhagavad Gita, and later found out, there's another text after that where Krishna is talking to his longtime devotee, and he went into Advaita, the higher teachings, which Prabhupada never got into. So he didn't teach the whole of the truth. I think he knew it, but like I said, he would say, people want to be attached to something, so let them be attached to Krishna. Let them go play, let them go do these things. Okay? So I don't think it's right if you have all the teachings to withhold teachings. And that's what he did. He withheld that. Now, I have to say, some of the things that were fun. You get up and you do the dancing, and every morning, let's see, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Ho Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Te Nomine Hare Krishna, oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, that was fun. I have to admit, that part of it was fun. You get up and you dance in front of the deities, and you make I was making a lot of the jewelry and the other stuff for the deities, and then doing the flower malas. And I did have the time when, I said this before, Prabhupada was alive, and I was standing out in the line. He goes out in the morning for his walk, and only his close devotees go with him on the walk. And he comes back, and you're standing there. Now, I never took initiation there. But I was standing there, and I had the flower mala in my hand, and he told me to come with him. And everybody's looking, and had me come up to where he stays to put the flower mala on his personal deities. And he told me, you're going to reach realization in this lifetime. And he knew it, and he knew I wasn't going to stay there. So he wanted to let me know that, and I appreciate that, because it kept me going through the years sometimes when it got really, really difficult. So, again, still I honor what I got there, but I'm very disappointed that he didn't teach the whole of it. Okay. Now, something, again, that I have found out, that I have found in being a guru for this many years, that when I first started teaching, I was really teaching with the aim of getting people to realization. But the more I taught, the more I found out people don't want that. People don't want it. They say they want it, but really they want to just have a better handle on their lives, okay? So they don't want to go the whole of the way, because the whole of the way means that you let go of that individualization and thinking the body is persona. There's no more illusion. And so people want to stay in that play. And again, they're not ready to go through that death before death, because that's what it takes. Passage of the Bible also says, no one sees the face of the Father and lives. And that's true, because when you get there into that space, all of a sudden you find out I don't exist, and I've never existed in the whole life story that I thought was so important wasn't an illusion. Okay. So when you get to that point and you're absorbed into that, your consciousness changes immediately. When you come out, it took a long time of a number of years before it could say I again, and this normal, what they call normal speech patterns. It takes you a while to get back to that because that's not your reality any longer. You would say when you come out of it, it was this one, this one. It was not I, it was this one. Because your consciousness changes. It's not that you're trying to put on airs or something, it's just it's not your reality. So that doesn't make any sense to say that, But then you come back into it, and through the years you let go of those trappings and that stuff, and then you enter the play of God, the Leela. Moksha is there. One's liberated. All one needed to be liberated from was the thoughts. And now when I was going through it, some of the parts were so hard. I was just praying for death, really. I didn't want to be here. I wanted to be out of this planet. I would do anything to get out of it. And then when you get liberated, you say it's all just the play. So what is there? The only thing one needed to be liberated from was that mind spin. So when that stops and it's just that quiet, you don't have any more of those revolving thoughts that drive people, then it changes. Then one goes into Leela. Somebody asked me, why are you doing the tarot? Why are you doing that? Why aren't you doing more satsang? I give 20 years of satsang. There's 20 years of satsang on the channel. On any subject you want to find it on. Okay? But now it's time for me to enjoy Leela, the play. I'm 70 years old, for God's sake. So I think I've earned the right to have the play now, to enjoy it, just to enjoy the realm of Dvaita, the play. Okay? Doesn't mean that there's no longer the Advaita, but you understand what Dvaita, the play, is all about, okay? And one goes back into that play for that time, okay? With no illusion, no drama surrounding it any longer. So that's what happens. So anyway, I hope that's answered your questions on the Krishna movement, the time I was there, what I saw, what was my take on it and why I had left. And I remember one other thing. I remember working in the incense factory because I wouldn't go out to do that. I'm not doing trickery. I am sorry. No, I will not do it. I left a number of places that I was at with teachers that I value the teachings, but things were going on there. It was, I'm not going to participate in it. Oh, and that's one thing I wanted to say on this as well. If you are in a spiritual movement and there's something going on which is wrong, I don't care how great you feel the teachings are. When you see something that's, is bothering, then you should go. You should go immediately. But people, they exchange their morality, their integrity for something they think they're going to get, some power, something, some carrot that's dangled out there. And meanwhile, this other stuff is going on, which is wrong. And yet you somehow sit there and compartmentalize it and say, well, maybe okay this or that. And you just keep getting drugged further and further. So if there's something going on there which is unethical, it's unethical, leave. For God's sakes, leave. And the right teacher will come there. So you have to honor that. If the whole thing is about getting to truth. If there's lies there going on, then it is not the place to be. Okay, truth has no place with lies. Okay, so if you see lies going on, and you want to just say, oh, well, maybe it's a little white lie. I can do that for this. I can exchange this for that. Don't do it. Don't do it. And that's what I've seen happen so many times, like ones like this Nityananda that I've talked about so much. So many things are coming out, and I have said from the beginning about that place, and they're coming out now. And thank God people are speaking about it. Things that I've been talking about for a long time, and now finally people are opening up and saying what their experience was there. I want to see the best for everyone. I want everyone to get to liberation, to moksha. Okay? But you're not going to get there following somebody like that is going to take every penny you have, every ounce of integrity you have, and if you think you're going to get something from that, think again. Think again. No teacher of their worth is going to withhold something from you from money. Absolutely not. Okay? So again, if you're in a place and you see things that are not having integrity, you're seeing some lies there, you're seeing, and they say, oh, it's spiritual trickery, it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Don't lose your integrity. That is the most important thing you can keep, is your integrity, your honesty, okay? And it doesn't matter. You can't make everyone is not going to like you, okay? I have one person that's just again today made up a fake YouTube thing just to come and put the most nasty, vile, you cannot believe how nasty and vile their language is. And I have nothing to do with this person. But they are convinced that every video I put out is about them. And really, I have nothing to do with them. But what are you going to do? Again, you can't please everyone. And if you're pleasing everyone, then again, you're not having integrity. Then you're selling yourself for something else. Okay, so don't do it. Don't do it. Keep your morality, keep your integrity, and just go walk step by step through your journey. And yes, you may have a number of teachers along the way. That happens. That can happen. They'll take you from one point of your journey to the next point, to the next point. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you for your question. I'm sorry it took so long to get back to it, but, it escaped my thoughts that it was sitting there waiting to be done. Love and light to everyone. Please be safe. Please be well. Take precautions during this time. Don't think, I've heard these ones, oh, God's going to keep me safe. I don't worry about it. Well, okay. When you're lying there and you need a ventilator, okay, God is out there, and, you've got the people that know what they're talking about, that are telling you what you need to do to be safe. Listen to them. Please, for God's sakes, listen to them. Anyway, thanks. Much love and light. From my house to your house. Be well.